Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Goodwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. I'm actually a bit nervous to ask this. What did you make of the Verstappen and Norris contact in the Austrian Grand Prix on Sunday?
Well,
I want your hot take.
Yeah. Well, it was coming. Either or. It was because there was some lunges beforehand. There was going to be a crash because it's really hard for me to sit and criticise them because they're F1 drivers and like the top of the tree. And I've never driven an F1 car, so I can't really go in on them anyway because I wouldn't see where they'd gone. But I think there's other drivers on the grid that have better racecraft than both of them, firstly. Secondly, again, when you listen to Max's interview, he said he didn't move under braking because he said that he broke after he moved. And none of...
Is that what he said?
That's literally what he said. He said, I'm the one in the car. He said, I can tell you, how do you know I broke there? I mean, there'd be data. If you got the data, then you'd get it. But, I mean, even all the pundits were saying, like, he's moved under braking. So who am I to sit and, first of all, criticise them or criticise Max or Lando? But what I can say from what I see, looking in, I don't think it was 6-1 after. I think Max was definitely at fault, but Max has come out and said that he did not move under braking. He said he moved the car, then he broke. But then he would, mate, we've been on that track. That means he broke so late. He would have just gone straight.
That's the thing which I adore about this statement because I'm just sort of thinking back and I can't recollect where the movements happen in terms of meters away from the corner.
50 metres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that is true, and I'm definitely not saying it's not true, it does mean that he was braking, like literally so
You're going
late.
off. You're literally going to go off.
And the only thing which I'll give him credit for is that we know in a road car, let alone an F1 car, if you're already heavily into the brakes and you suddenly make a big change of direction, that's not working out for you. Do you know what I mean? Like so there could be some elements of truth in what he's saying is that he was positioning the car prior to the brake, but I decided, well, okay. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Amazing driving from him.
Yeah.
I think the point being F1 pundits, critics, fans, actual moving on the brakes and moving in the braking zone, I think is maybe where there's a bit of confusion. I think, let's face it, he was definitely moving very late into the corner.
And it wasn't the first time he'd done it either. He'd done it before.
And definitely reacting to Lando's movements, which, if you're holier than thou as a racing driver or racing enthusiast, that's very ungentlemanly. That's really not how you race.
Yeah.
And of course, I think it is frustrating when you're someone who wants to watch wheel-to-wheel racing and someone is literally just blocking.
Yeah.
I think that is frustrating as a fan. You want to see amazing techniques and style. Like if you think back to Alonso versus Webber, Hamilton versus Rosberg. I was going to say Senna Prost, but they crashed into each other a lot. Schumacher, Hakkinen, there were lots, or Montoya, Schumacher used to crash a lot. Anyway, lots of examples of very good, close wheel-to-wheel action. Yeah. This just felt a little bit...
they'd overstepped the mark.
Yeah, a little bit F3, F2. Like, Lando just sort of sending it with these real, long dives. What else is he going to do?
Oh, mate, there was one, and this was before the crash. And that's when I thought there's going to be a crash because he lunged from so far back.
So far back.
And we've been on that track, and you know where you're braking a road car, and then it's bloody another 100 metres before you're braking an F1 car. And he lunged down the hill where it's hard, that corner as well, because it's on camber and where you brake. And I thought, that is so late. And even Max come on the race. I mean, it annoyed me a bit because Max said, he can't lunge me like that. I mean, what do you mean he can't lunge? What are you talking about? Of course he can do what he likes.
He totally can. And what I quite enjoyed, which did give me Hamilton-Rosberg vibes, is obviously these two have been racing each other for... and probably decades, if you think about it, but years at least. And there was a certain amount, I know there was a lot of talk about respect and lack of respect after the race, but actually I think the only reason Lando knew he could send those lunges is he does kind of know the driver Max is.
Of course.
And the awareness that Max would have. Are you going to absolutely send it like that against some of the other drivers on the grid? Maybe you wouldn't have that same confidence that the driver would see you coming because, you know, really... there could have been some times where there could have been some big crashes, but I think Max saw what Lando was going to do, knew Lando's style as well, so they knew each other's racecraft. Yeah. But I applaud Lando because, like, you've got to go for it, right? You know, who knows which is the faster car? I think we've got to assume that the Red Bull's still
a bit quicker.
A bit quicker.
Yeah.
But the McLaren is right there. But you're trying to overtake Verstappen, and we all know that's a super difficult task. Yeah. And around that track, he's just got to send it. He's just got to, and hopefully one time it sticks. Yeah. I think the only criticism I would put on Lando is, and as you say, like, who are we to critique F1 drivers? There are a few clips you can find online now of people trying a similar move, and I think even Verstappen versus Leclerc, sort of positioning your car on the outside, being squeezed by a driver as you approach the apex further out, and then just doing the old switchback.
Yeah, getting on a cutback.
And I think that's what Verstappen did against Leclerc. And you can actually see Leclerc does squeeze him to. So if Lando,
and vice versa as well, by the way. I think in racecraft, I think Leclerc has the measure of Max. If I'm honest.
That's where I was going to come to. Is I think, you know, my feeling is this is not the first time, but one of the first times we've seen Lando versus Max in real anger. Yeah. Like, for the win, genuinely competitive cars, like fairly evenly matched and going for it. Yeah. And we saw this quite early on in 2021 with Lewis versus Max, whilst they were basically sizing each other up. And I think Lando maybe was a tad naive to think that he could just get a clear pass on Max. I think he should have known and expected that Max was going to play dirty. Yeah. And obviously he'd seen that in the laps before, that Max was moving under braking or in the braking zone at least. Yeah. And so, that time when they touched, I think Lando should have known that he was going to be squeezed out. Yeah. And maybe he did a Lewis and said, well, I'm just going to stay here. If you're going to crash into me, you're going to crash into me. But who came off worse? Lando.
Well, Lewis done that once, didn't he, at Silverstone? But obviously, I always think that Lewis always had the measure of Max, and Max would flat, especially in 2021 when he was behind him, because he knew he was going to get him. But there was that one time at Silverstone where Lewis said, well, no, I'm not moving. I'm staying here. Yeah, but most of the times, if you look, Lewis avoids crashes with Max. Brazil. I mean, there's so many, mate, where he gets out of the way.
Yes, I think a big part of what made that season so special, 2021, was you had Verstappen in all of his hot-headedness, young, up-and-coming, wanting to be a new champion, going up against the old, wise GOAT. You know, it was the perfect matchup because it was all of Lewis's experience against all of Verstappen's raw aggression and talent.
And he's unbelievable, mate. He's so fast, you know, like, you can't take it away from him.
And I don't. And I, as a Schumacher fan, I can't help but sort of smirk at how much he still cares about a race win. Yeah. You know, like, what is he now? 4-time champion, fairly dominant. No one's catching him for this year.
Nearly 4-time, and he's 3-time.
Is he 3-time? I lose track. 21, 22, 23.
And he's about to be 20.
Fine.
He will be 24, won't he?
Fine. That's what I mean. No one's catching him for this championship. But anyway, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm attending Silverstone this weekend. Can't wait. Going to be there with McLaren.
That'll be fast, the McLaren around there. That's perfect.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think that'll be fast.
It'll be exciting. So let's watch this space. It was, you know.
I also think the Merc will be quick round there this weekend as well, because they've sorted out high speed, haven't they, Merc now?
I guess.
So, but I think it's the third fastest car now. I think it's just Pit Ferrari.
Ferrari had a weird couple of races though. They should have really come off the boil a bit since Monaco, which I think they're a bit. I don't think they understand why that's happened.
And what about Aston Martin, mate? I mean, the start of the season, the second fastest car.
I would hope or assume, no, that not this year. They weren't second fastest car this year. That was last year.
Was it last year? Second fastest car?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
They've been off the
Time
ball this year.
flies.
So I'm hoping they've gone write it off. Season's done.
Yeah.
And with a full focus towards 2026 and maybe an eye towards 2025. But
Yeah.
last week, literally the minute we stopped recording, I don't know if you noticed this, by the time we'd both got back to work,
Yeah.
I checked my Instagram. It was like, 6 cars have been revealed. So we felt a bit out of date when we came onto chat. But I think we've got to kick things off, I guess, right, with the M5. That's where we should start. Big fans, both of us, previous generation M5. I think of M5s in general.
Yep. Well, for quite a long time, I think we said it was the best all-round car you could buy, the M5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you excited, intrigued for the new generation? Were you going, that's going to be fun?
Oddly, no.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I
there.
wasn't. No.
Don't know why. But I was a bit like, I feel like I know what I'm going to get. Obviously, I had that i5 on loan for a long time. I don't know. I just was like,
Yeah. And I think now, because of that, the new generation M3, because it's so good, there was still a gap between the older M5 and the F80 M3. There was a huge difference. But now, that new M3, it's such a good car.
does it
does
take something away from the M5?
I think so, mate. But it does.
Well, it's an interesting one because obviously car was revealed. I think it looks pretty good. That new 5 Series shape I think is good, and they've added some aggression. But really stepping away from all of the performance side of things, I think the bit that everyone took away was the weight. Because the car weighs close to 2.5 ton.
Yeah.
I think it's 2,439 or something like that as a total weight. Fact check me if that's slightly incorrect.
Yeah,
but
it's about right.
it makes it one of the heaviest, what's called passenger cars or saloon cars on the market. It's a smidgen lighter than a Rolls-Royce Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, if you take SUVs away, I mean, it will be like one of the heaviest, full stop.
Which
It's as heavy as a Bentley.
Is it not heavier?
Well, Bentley's got to be 2.5 ton, isn't it? No, or close 2 point. I bet there's not a lot in it, mate.
The what's it called, Flying Spur? Are they still called Flying Spurs?
Yeah, or even a Continental. What's a Continental? 2.2, 2.3,
2.3.
Is it?
Bentley Flying Spur, 2,330 for the V8, 2,505 for the big one, W12.
So, like in between them two.
Yeah, I
mean, it's bloody heavy, mate.
It's really heavy
for a performance.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that's the bit that is the hard bit to swallow. This is an M performance car.
Yeah.
Now it just immediately screams no.
Of course.
But I doubt it. Did you watch any of the content of the car? For example, did you see Joe Achilles kind of...
No.
He did a prototype or a pre-production test drive. Now, he did say on track, he felt like the car hit its weight fairly well. I think on the road, that might not stay true. Because on track, it's hard to really find that context, isn't it? Like, the weight will show up again massively when you're on a tight and twisty B road, or when you're somewhere where you've got to throw the car around a lot more on a big wide circuit where your sort of pace is relatively controlled. Do you know what I mean? Like
I find it the other way, mate.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I feel weight more on a track than what I do on a road.
Well, because that's because you're driving flat out on the track.
Well, it's not what most people do, no?
I think in this situation, and Joe, I don't know if you're listening, I think he does listen sometimes. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I didn't get the impression that it was a flat out track session.
Right, okay.
I think this was a media opportunity with an M4 lead car.
Okay, right. So a pace car
in convoy.
Okay, right.
3 or 4 laps.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it was like hard. Because I agree, of course, like if you're really getting behind the wheel and cracking on, you can feel the weight. But for example, going back to lots of cars, I just think you can feel like a Bentley Continental GT is a prime example. If you crack on with one of those on a back road, you feel the weight. Even the RS6, I used to always feel the weight.
Yeah, well, mate, even a Turbo S.
Yeah, you just get a sense of what's going on.
Yeah. Roman not, but Roman's
it's quite light though.
But it's light. It's like 1,500 kilos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I think that's dry.
It probably.
Because
I think Ferrari.
like,
Yeah.
1,200 kilos without an engine. Oh wait, segue, bro. 488. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, hold
Can
on
we
a
stop?
minute.
Let's just put a pin in the M5 chat.
No.
Because last week I went to revisit the 488.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about this a little bit. What a car, mate.
I know, mate.
What, like, honestly.
But we've always said it. It's just that
but
people don't talk about him anymore.
people don't talk about them. And actually, my point in the content was proven by the comment section. Because everyone. 458. No, biggest problem with the 488, 458.
Oh, go away.
I like this, but you got to have a 458. It sounds way better.
Oh, go
I actually
away.
had people text me.
Yep.
John,
Please,
John
honestly.
from Podium.
Oh, John, please. Honestly,
John
mate.
came straight in the WhatsApp.
Give your head a wobble, mate.
I've watched your video. You're wrong. And he went on and told me everything he'd done with his 458 recently. And I was like, sounds mega, but let's agree to disagree. I want to just pick out a few of the comments because I know they're going to rile you up about this on the 488.
Mate, I can't.
First one. This is literally made 1 hour ago by Chris Perry. Sorry, Chris. I prefer the 458 mainly because of the styling and the naturally aspirated engine.
Well done. Have you had one? Have you had both?
Hey Sam, up front, I'll admit my bias to the 458. Hold on a sec, let's keep finding more. There's a few people that mentioned that they have turbo issues. Did you know about that? I
Never.
Yeah,
Never ever heard about it.
A lot of people commenting saying, "Oh, I'd be worried about the turbo issues."
Right.
Cali T is much better value.
It's not quite the same. It's a full-on supercar, mate.
74A Mills. I'm calling you out here, bro.
Well done, 74A Mills.
I have a 458, and the throttle response cannot be beaten. Apart from by 488.
Yeah, and quite a lot of cars after it as well.
I think he means like just emotionally, maybe.
Okay, fine.
So there's so many. I'm just literally ruining all you've done. Nope. This is it from Zoid Pickle. Nope. 458 is the one to have.
Okay.
There is something missing from the 488 and the Tributo.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know why I'm like trying to ruin everyone. But everyone's
giving it a bit back for a change.
Everyone's allowed their opinion.
It's all right. Yeah, it's just opinions.
You're all just wrong. No, I think my point being, I do understand why people emotionally connect with the 458 more than the 488, and I think the 458 is one of Maranello's best supercars from the last 30 years. Like, I think the 458 is monumentally fantastic.
When it come out.
No. I think as a thing, because you know me, I like an older car. I think the 360 is a fantastic thing. I think the 355 is a fantastic thing. I think the 458 represents a fantastic car from Maranello. Okay. I do believe that. Still, if you look at it for contextually,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I'd probably agree with that. But
the 488 is better. It is fundamentally better
in every single way.
And so that, I think, makes up for whatever emotional connection the 458 may offer. And I think I don't think the 458 sounds good.
Well, you know my opinions on it. I mean,
everyone bangs on about, is that naturally? I think it's one of the worst sounding.
Yeah.
Because it just goes, bah!
Literally. The Scud and your CS, way better.
Yeah.
Sounds way better than the Speciale.
Yeah, Speciale as well. Like,
it does my head in, mate.
Valves open and it's just
barking.
A load of wasps barking. Yeah.
Literally.
There's very little tone to it. Yeah. And then I always found the 458 very darty. I don't know if you agree. Like, I always found it very sort of darty.
Yeah.
Which is good and part of the steering, I suppose, of course. Like, but that 488 just, I think, settles on the road a lot nicer personally.
Once tyres are warm, yeah.
Yeah, of course. But just in general, it's just, because it moves slightly more towards what we now know as, usable, drivable Ferraris. Yeah. It's just a bit more it's a bit more easy just to jump in and go. The 458 just feels a bit...
I genuinely preferred all the 488s I had compared to all the 458s. So I had 3 458s and the Speciale. And I preferred... Even take the pistons out. Yeah. Even the standard 488, I preferred it to all the 488. I think the normal 488 is even better than the Speciale. It's a better car. So you had 3 458s. Didn't you have 2 coupes and a Spider? Had 2 coupes and a Spider.
And then the Speciale.
Then I had a Speciale.
Then you had the GTB 488.
Yes.
The Spider 488.
I had 2 Spiders.
You had 2 Spider 488 and then the 3 pieces.
3 Pistas, yeah. So I've probably got a little bit of ground to talk about it. And I've probably done just the context with mileage across all the cars. I've definitely done 20,000 miles. So...
I mean, that's pathetic, mate.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. Let's edit that bit out.
No, let's leave it in. 20,000 miles in Ferraris. Bloody a lot.
Mate, in like 10 Ferraris. I've done 20,000 miles a year.
Yeah, but you're odd. And got no air.
We're a bit aggressive today, aren't we? We're a bit lazy,
Yeah,
aren't we?
you're
We're
going to be a fight in a minute.
We've owned Ferraris. Screw you guys. Sorry, everyone.
But I done nearly 6,000 miles in the Speciale. I know I've done more than 20 actually, because I've done 6,000 miles in the Speciale alone. I've done 8,000 miles in the 3 Pistas. Yeah, I would have easily done.
You drove that
25.
Spider, the 488 Spider. You
I've
drove
done
down to
5,000
Italy.
miles in that. Yeah.
I did that trip with you.
Okay, yeah, I did do play. I've done.
Let's add it up. Let's say 35,000 miles.
Well, let's be safe and say 30. But yeah.
Still bad, mate. Get a move
All right,
on.
mate. I'm so sorry.
It's just you're a flipper. That's what you are.
I am genuinely a flipper. Yeah.
You actually are. It's literally what does Tony do as a business? He's a flipper.
Yeah. Literally just flip cars. Yeah, I'm not a true owner or a petrol at all.
You're not,
Not
mate.
in any shape or form. I
Just in it
absolutely
for the
don't know what
profit.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you ordered that
Clueless.
curtain
man.
exec.
Yeah. Oh, no, I sold it. Flipped it.
Yeah, flip the
Yeah, made
slot.
$1 million.
Still not been delivered, though, I don't think.
No,
so.
no, it's been delivered to the new owner.
Has it? I don't think any of them
yeah.
been delivered worldwide.
No, that one has.
Oh, right. Okay, let's circle back. M5. Let's talk about one of the good parts of the M5. So, hybridized.
Yeah.
Fairly heavily hybridized. 717 horsepower. I mean, is that good?
It's a lot.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
What are the good points?
Well, it'll have a lot of tech. I mean, it will be faster than a straight line. All right, they said that 0 to 60 it was slower than the old car, but I bet after 60 it drives off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will probably be ace to drive. I think it will be as a road car. I think BMW would seem to be in a good place right now.
I mean, they've always been a good place in terms of driving, as in not tech, but as a driving machine, their motto. They've always, I mean, what haven't even their normal cars drive well?
Do you think they're still, that's an interesting topic actually. Because so obviously now we know the tech has caught up. Early 2000s, maybe the tech would lag behind, but now we know they're some of the best cars to live with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But as drivers' cars, is that still, I know we're not purists, but is that really still an M car? Like, can you have an M car that's 2,500 kilos?
Well, I don't know, mate, because I've not driven it. But I can tell you that my BMW that I own is an M car.
Fair. Your M3 Touring.
My M3 is a
just
full-on...
such a beast of a car.
Yeah, it's a full-on... I mean, it's 1,800 kilos. And obviously, last time I went to Nürburgring, I took that on track. I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And instantly feel the weight.
Just doing a quick little Google. How heavy do you think my car is?
Which one?
My Panamera.
Oh, 2 ton?
Yeah.
It's got a V8 in it, mate.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Here we go. No, not 2024. What year is mine? By the way,
Porsche quite good at hiding weight, by the way, as well.
I am loving my car, by the way. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am so happy with it.
Good.
I just adore it.
Yeah.
2,265 kilos.
Yeah.
So, okay. My point being that they're going to make a touring version of this.
Yeah.
I mean, price, bit punchy.
Well, is it though, mate? It's about 10 or 11 grand more than the outgoing car. I expected that to be more than...
I think we all thought it was going to be 150, didn't we? I think a lot of our chat about a year ago when this first started getting rumoured was that it was going to be 150
I think
grand.
you should go back. I think that's what you said. I think I said 130. But
Which
I
you think spec'd
said
up it will be 130?
125, 130, yeah. What I think 130, you're putting everything on it at that point.
I you know what? I like this. I'm just going to come out and say I like it. I think the weight on paper looks bad.
But it depends what you're using it for.
Yeah, who's going on track in their M5s?
Yeah.
And many
I mean,
people
I have seen it, but Yeah.
And if the hybrid is good hybrid tech, as in like actually usable and easy to recharge and get you around the city and quite like, I like this. I think it looks amazing. I'm going to come out and say I think it looks really good. I did love living with that i5. It was very, very pleasant, if not a bit boring at times.
Similar place to sit in it in terms of...
And this will make it less boring because it's got a hunking great V8.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the first time in my life. I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm not going to say anything until I've driven it. I normally don't do that or say that, but it's quite an important car, that, as in, because the previous M5s have always been mega. So...
Would you order one of those? For
no,
too much?
Not too much. I already think I've got the perfect all-round car, so I don't think it's as good as the M3 Touring. So
I really like that.
Yeah, fair.
The more I look at it, I'm getting a bit excited.
Okay.
Let's see. I will send an email to BMW and say, hello, can we have the car, please? Mm-hmm. And they'll go, no.
Yeah, because you were really horrible about it. Tony can have it because he was nice, but you can piss off.
That wasn't that horrible. I just say on paper it doesn't read great. Yeah, okay. Another thing that we're going to be uninvited to. Shall we? Oh no. Can we? Shall we talk about the phone call I got?
Well,
no, I don't think it's fair.
No, I don't think it's right.
All we can say is we're
definitely going to get banned.
Yeah, we got in trouble
again.
It does happen. Yeah. So that you know. You know, we pride ourselves in this podcast. I know a lot of people get upset and annoyed by us, but we pride ourselves on being fairly open. Like, we don't really have many allegiances. Like, we're I mean, especially Tony.
No, I don't know.
No, we don't really, hold any punches.
No.
And that's very important to us here on the podcast, that we can say whatever we want, however we want it. It does get us into trouble. You know, we get some upset emails from brands, from manufacturers, from companies. Yeah. Tony gets them a lot from dealers that he's revealing too much. You know, people say that. And so we had quite an amazing, actually, but amusing phone call in the week of a manufacturer that we speak about a lot here, that we had shared some incorrect information on. Yeah. And they were just calling to very politely correct us.
Stop it.
With sort of an air of, if you don't stop it, we will kill you. Like there was an air of, this is your only warning. Yeah. But it was handled so nicely. So that you know, Tony and I put our lives on the line each week for this podcast.
Just to talk complete toy.
Yeah, so if you want to know what does Behind the Glass offer me, you know, amongst all... Because now that, mate, I don't know if you know this, there are now 10,000 automotive podcasts. Yeah. Since we started however long ago, 5 years ago.
No.
There are now...
6 or 7 years ago.
Whatever.
Yeah.
A gazillion now, mate.
Yeah.
So what does Behind the Glass offer you? Well, such brutal, aggressive honesty that is often...
Basically, we could get
facts.
shot.
Yeah, we could get shot.
Yeah.
For misquoting things. Anyway, let's move on. Because we also have the new Bentley to talk about. We talked about Continental GTs. The new one is out.
It's out. I like the lights on it. Is that next?
My mouse is broken today, so I have to keep leaning forward. Yeah. So I actually know very little about this because I was busy when it got unveiled. But it's the new Continental GT, which essentially I think design-wise just takes some hints from the Batteur. This looks a bit like a Batteur, so slightly updated looks, nothing revolutionary for looks, but we're seeing this across the board. We keep talking about this. All these new cars, just tweaked in terms of their looks. But it's now a PHEV, another plug-in hybrid. As we said, seems like the future for sports cars and cars in general.
Makes complete sense.
771 horsepower, so a little bit more up on the M5, but focused on 50-50 weight distribution.
Yep. Trying to add a bit of weight.
So, hold on a sec. They've said they've got 68% parts replaced. So, theoretically, a whole new car, even though it looks visually quite similar. Yep. And there we go. It's the new V8 PHEV powertrain. Now, where would that, do we think, come from? It says... it's Bentley's own 4-litre V8.
I mean, it's loosely probably based on the engine that your car's got.
Yeah.
It will be that Volkswagen Audi Group
That's
V8.
the thing, right?
Yeah.
And then again, they're another person who've put the motor in the gearbox. So 188 horsepower electric motor in the gearbox.
Yeah. And by the way, in years gone by, obviously, they've been making that V8 or loosely that V8 for quite a long time now, and I always thought that was the better engine than the W12 anyway.
Absolutely, but previously, I'd say because this was a little bit lighter on its toes. Yeah, adding the hybridized version may have taken that away a bit,
which is probably why they're making a fuss of the 50-50 weight distribution.
Sure,
to try and take that away from it a bit.
I mean, the thing is, if I'm honest, I think they could have gone a little bit heavier on the hybrid.
Right.
Because I adore the Continental GT. I think it's one of the
Lovely
best cars
car.
in the market for that latest generation, or the previous generation now.
As a GT car.
It's a GT car.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
a bit like with the Rolls-Royce Spectre,
Yeah.
I think they could have lent into... It was already a big, heavy cruiser.
Yeah.
Like, you were never really cracking on
No.
in a Bentley. I mean, the GT Speed allowed you to do so a little bit more, but it's a cross-continent, daily...
Yes, it is.
I'm in a Bentley.
Yeah.
So therefore, I really wouldn't have been upset if they'd gone...
It's 3 ton.
300 horse, yeah. 3 ton, 300 horsepower electric motor, like big old battery.
Yeah.
You know, I would have been like, fine, because I'd just waft along.
Yeah.
It would help you. The torque from the electric motors, I think, would have helped.
And I think in most scenarios as well, actually, flying the flag for EV, I think that would be a good car in full EV, that car.
Maybe there will be a full EV at some point. That would make sense. I thought Bentley were one of those people who were saying we're going to full EVs are on their way and things like that. But that's what I mean. Yeah, it's definitely not a car that I would have been upset. They obviously feel like it's important to still have a combustion engine. They obviously feel that their customers like that, or that it's integral, or maybe they don't see the future of a full EV model at this stage. Let me just scroll down. So I'm leaning forward once again. For those of you listening, my laptop's quite far away from me today, so I keep leaning forward to scroll through the news article. Fill the space, Tony.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the design a little bit. So the front lights on it have been changed, obviously. I think they look mega, mate. I think they've really done a good job on the front of the car. Obviously, you've still got the big prominent grille at the front, and the lights they've just like put an eyebrow on it, basically.
Yeah, it just made it a little bit more modern looking, doesn't it?
Yeah,
brought it up into the 2024 vibes.
Yeah.
I haven't found anything about potential electric versions, but deliveries will start in autumn with prices starting from £236,000.
So that's going to be nearly 300 grand done.
Yep, because they don't mess around with options, do they?
No, they don't. No,
they've always been the way. I know. I'm a fan. I mean, I know I like this.
Yeah,
I know I like this.
I would like it as well.
Yeah,
for
fantastic.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, bringing things a little bit back down the market.
Not too far, mate. Please.
Golf R.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's not really changed a lot. It's like a mild facelift, really, when you look at that.
Yeah, it's just tweaked. But I mean, they do this always, don't they, with these
They do, yeah.
generations. So from 316 horsepower up to 329, slightly reduced the 0 to 60 time by 0.1 seconds.
So it's the same.
But it is...
So this is basically in tune with the S3, as in, they've brought this out in line with the S3, and it is basically an S3. There'll be some slightly different tweaks in recent models. The Golf R has been slightly quicker than the S3, and I think this will be the case on this car. So, and as well, mate, money-wise nowadays, when you spec a Golf R now to the 9s, because the S3 comes with more standard, it ends up being more than the Audi.
Yeah, well, there we go. Look, the starting price is 44 grand for the hatchback. As you say, tick a few options. That's going to get you to 50 real quick. The S3 is 50.
Yeah.
So, I say bang on the money. Only thing which I'd say is I think the Golf R has a bit more about it. I think it's got a bit more of an edge. I think it's got a bit more presence. I think badge-wise, it's a little bit more desirable. Because S3, always you're just thinking, well, what about the RS3? I mean, I really, really liked that S3 when I drove it in the south of France. I thought it was fantastic. But if it was my money and I was looking at 50 grand on a Golf R or an S3, I think I'd go Golf R.
Would you?
Yeah, just because
Fair.
I think golf is golf.
Right.
So, man of the people.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be Larry, I think you can make it look Larrier than an S3. Or if you want to dull it down, you can, and it's just a Golf.
Okay.
So,
Fair.
I would choose the Golf R, probably.
Right.
You
Okay.
wouldn't? You choose the
No, I
Audi?
probably would have the Golf R, yeah, because I always say that, if you've got 40 or 50 grand to spend on a hot hatch, then just go and buy a Golf of any variant, GTI or just, so I can't really go back on my word now. Really.
Yeah, fair.
I was all going to go in on me again. You said last week.
Yeah, I'd love to go on you. And then, finally...
Another one. Oh, we're flying today with all this. What's this? Mate, I can't. What's this? Tell me.
So, the Aston Martin Valiant.
Yeah.
manual track weapon,
Right, it's
with a screaming
contradictory.
V12, a bespoke commission from two-time world champion Fernando Alonso.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
38 will be produced. Apparently, designed and aided by the Formula One team and Alonso. This is an extreme version of was it the Valor?
Yes. Is it the Valor? Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Road Legal Special Edition draws its power from a 734 horsepower, 5.2 litre
Manual.
twin turbo V12 with a manual.
Right. No, thank you.
I mean, the thing is, I actually think this is awesome.
Yeah. This is
amazing.
right up your street, isn't it?
Right up my street. I don't adore the looks because I think the Valor was beautifully sculpted. Putting a big old wing on it, I'm a bit like, but
It's a little bit like a Mustang.
Alonso said he wanted a more extreme race car inspired version. Go on, Alonso. It's the quad pipes out the back and everything about it's just a bit like it's a bit max power.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see coming from Aston because
It's the gentleman's brand.
Yeah. Only thing is, I just don't adore that engine. Like, I love the DB12. So, as we all know now, I've driven both. DB12 over Vantage for me. I just don't, in a sort of racy, like that engine, that twin turbo V12, I'm just like,
A bit lazy, isn't it?
It's a bit lazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound fantastic.
Not up on its toes.
No, and the old V12, that naturally aspirated V12 that we saw in previous generation Vanquish and V12 Vantage and DBS and things like that. What an engine! Where actually this
Still a bit lazy though. That engine was. That
but what a noise!
You're correct.
It was such an emotive engine.
Bit of flair and
this engine. I'm a bit like, it's the one thing that would hold me back from DB12 ownership.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bit subdued.
Yeah.
It gets up and goes, but
hold on a minute though. You'd use the DB12 as a Bentley rival, and is there any huge emotion from a Bentley anymore? So does there need to be in the Aston Martin apart from the fact that you're in an Aston Martin?
Well, I think that is the whole thing. I think that it is an important part of the Aston Martin experience is the soundtrack. I think soundtrack in general is a huge part of any sports or supercar experience, and I'm not going to bash any manufacturer from the exterior sound, but creating a sound inside the cabin that gives you the impression of being in a big, powerful sports car from a brand like Aston Martin, I think is important. And I don't think
They're all moving away from it though, mate.
No,
aren't they?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, a lot of these. Well, if you take Aston Martin and Bentley as an example, they're moving away from that leery noise. Even in the cabin, it's not that loud anymore. It's nice and quiet and sedate, and they've all got double glazed windows, and keep the noise out.
Not in the new Vantage. New Vantage is noisy.
Yeah, fair, but if we're talking about DB12 and Bentley and GT cars, they're going that way essentially, and the
You're probably
DB12
right.
is a competitor for a Bentley and a Roma.
Yeah.
And the Roma sounds like probably better outside than it does inside. Because that doesn't sound great either,
No.
does it?
No, as I say, I don't knock anyone from the outside. All the car, no car can sound good outside
Correct.
these days.
Yeah.
But I think the Roma sounds all right inside. I think there's enough. I think the Roma inherently says performance and sports car inside.
More than the other two, for sure.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And you're right. The DB model from Aston probably does have more elegance, more usability, more drivability. You turn it up into the Laria modes, you get a bit more noise in the cabin and stuff. But I don't know. It's not the sound I associate with those cars. Going back to what would we stick that V8 Jag engine in? That for me. There we go. F-Type you can't buy it anymore. But that was a modern day car which had all the sound and characteristic, even with the sports exhaust fuse in and filters. So yeah, I don't know. That's the one thing. If this car had come out and they said we've put in, I don't know what they could have put in, but
speakers.
yeah. Or I'm not even. Remember years ago when we started talking about this, and they were saying, "Oh, you're gonna be able to play in the sound of a Lexus LFA in your." I'm really not against it.
Okay.
I don't care if it's fake. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
Okay, fair enough.
So that thing's kind of wild. One of the cars that we're going to be seeing at Goodwood next week, reminder for British viewers and international listeners.
People fly from all over the world to go to
They
there
do,
now.
but some people just don't know and don't care.
Yeah, all right.
Goodwood Festival of Speed next weekend. we don't think you're going to be able to make it down. We're not sure you actually booked a trip away over that weekend by mistake.
Yeah,
Bravo.
I didn't realise, but actually, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to go now.
No, and I am now so committed on most of the days that let's wait and see what we're going to be doing in and around that.
Yeah, you put yourself right up, haven't you?
Oh, mate.
Put yourself right in the land
Which
of
is
promise.
good and bad.
Of course.
You know, man's got to work.
You got to do it, mate.
I'm already like
Working.
yeah, already overwhelmed. So that'll be exciting. There's going to be one of the cars. There's so many cars going to be revealed or having their dynamic debuts, or hopefully I'm going to get a chance to sniff around the 992.2 hybrid thing.
Yeah.
But we'll check that out. Maybe I don't know. If we'll touch on it a bit more next week. Obviously, the next week's episode will go out on the start of Goodwood, so we'll wait and see. And I think, was that it? Let me just have a quick look.
There's no update on the tours? On the tour?
So everyone took the piss out of me because I said it's we got one space remaining, but there's a waiting list of 105 people or something like that. All I meant by that was those amount of people had requested payment details but hadn't made payment yet.
Yeah.
So essentially, the tour is now sold out. Tour is now fully sold out. Thank you so much to everyone.
We'll look forward to seeing you all.
If you'd requested payment details, you immediately got put onto a waiting list.
Correct.
So that's all I meant.
Yeah.
So if you want to join that waiting list, you can do now by heading to btgtours.com and joining the waiting list. But yeah, fully sold out, and we're now just cracking on and putting plans in place. Some of the cars that have signed up are outrageous.
They are, yeah.
We genuinely thought, this will be a different vibe. We might get a few more hot hatches, or a few more GT cars.
Yep.
Just like there is more variety.
Yeah, there is more.
Definitely more variety, but there are some heavy hitter cars coming.
Big cars,
I'm like, wow. So that's quite exciting. I actually think I've worked out what car I want to take on that trip as well.
Oh, can you?
No, I'm not going to say yet because I haven't secured it.
Oh,
but I think I've worked out what
Will you
could
tell
be
me?
a really. Yeah, I'll tell you after this.
Okay, fine.
And I know,
Keep an eye on my Instagram and put it straight on there. For
actually, honestly, I'm gonna write it here for a live reaction.
Gonna go in on him.
You're gonna.
You are joking, mate. Please.
Well, you haven't seen it yet. Hold on.
No. But I, if you want my reaction, it's obviously a piece of poo, because it's just what you do to me, and you're probably doing it on purpose just to piss me off. Okay.
What? Perfect, mate.
Who cares? Mate?
Oh God. Someone's out of touch. Tour sold out. I think that's about it from the admin update point of view. So, anything else you want to touch on? What are you up to for the rest of the week, for the rest of the weekend that people can get excited about?
Oh, I've got work to do, mate.
Do you? How's work going?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, cars coming and
It's
going?
actually quietened off a little bit over the last week or so, and obviously there's a quiet period coming because when the schools all break up, it then goes quieter for sure. But yeah, we've been doing all right this year.
Yeah,
to be
just
honest.
ticking along.
Yeah, just batting away, and at least we're earning money again now, which is the main thing.
Good for you, mate. I'm off to pick up a 750S after this.
A 750. Oh yeah,
I'm quite excited about that. I've got to be honest.
it's way too fast, that car.
Mate, I've drunk so much McLaren Kool-Aid at the moment.
What do you like?
I started looking at cars the other day. I started looking at a few
The
whips.
McLarens?
Do you see Harry Metcalf bought a 650S Spider?
I saw it recommended. I didn't watch it, but I saw it recommended to me. And I'll tell you what, while we're on the subject of McLaren,
Good lad.
I saw yesterday, because my work's fairly near Brands Hatch, probably the first time I've ever seen one, a customer-driven Artura.
Hello.
An orange one, yeah.
Do you know it's customer driven? Did you go and ask them if they own the car?
Well, no, I didn't know, but I mean, it was just
What was the plate? Do you remember?
just a normal plate. It wasn't...
Didn't have MCL on it.
No. It was just normal. I'm pretty sure it was because, it could have been a demo car, I guess, but it was a man and a young lad in the car.
Oh, this is stuff I love to see in here.
Yeah. And I thought, as it come down, originally I thought, that's a 570S, but then as it got closer, I thought, oh no, it's not actually, it's an Artura.
And actually, let's touch on that because a few people have asked, where is my Artura video? After we spoke about it on the podcast, and I said, it's coming out on Sunday, you're going to see why I'm feeling so sick. And then I never uploaded it because the 488 video went live instead. So I will be completely upfront with you. McLaren, legends that they are, got in touch when they heard the podcast and said, look, is there anything we can do to help? Like you said, you were so unhappy with the video. Is there anything we can do to help? And so essentially, we're just waiting to see if I could get hold of an Artura Spider just to do a few bolt-on extra bits of content to kind of just to save that video a bit, because every time I watch it back, I'm still...
You wasn't happy with it,
it's just not a good video.
No.
Like the cinematically, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
What I say is BS. Okay. There's like no good chat in the video.
I feel every week listening to you.
Same vibe every video. So
literally.
So essentially, I think a couple more weeks that video will come out in some shape or form. I'm just trying to salvage it a bit. Essentially, McLaren are trying to help, so that's why that's on hold. But just having a quick look, there are 15 Arturas on the market.
Yeah.
Cheapest car, £147,000.
Yeah.
5,000 miles. An approved used, very nice car, £149,000, 6,800 miles. So these must be all ex-demos or
demo cars,
ex-press cars, because there's a lot of them with 6,500, which must be the limit. But yeah, some nice examples here. One 1,200 miles, 154 grand.
A lot of car for the money.
It's a lot of car for the money,
mate. Car for the money, that.
Oh, that's a very nice, all red one. Oh, that's a stunner, mate. Look at that one.
That's nice, yeah.
But I have to say, and I said this to McLaren, I'm so excited to get behind the wheel of the 750S.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, I'm actually buzzing.
I wonder if it's just... I wonder how... I'm guessing it will be a softer tone down, but I wonder how close it is to a 765.
Everyone I've spoken to says it feels like a 765 touring.
Yeah, okay.
So they've taken enough of the 765 that we loved and then merged it with the 720 to just find this kind of balance that's usable.
But I would think, mate, that quite a lot of people, normal people, because I would consider us as not normal, won't like the 765. It's too much. It's way too much.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's too much. So maybe they're going to like the 750 better. Yeah. But we're not wired up correctly. So
the hard thing is obviously visually it looks identical. That's the hard part. So sorry, to a 720S, 750S, 720S is, that's the hard part. Is it looks very spot on. So I'm going to, I guess, find out how different it is. But no, I'm just I drank the Kool-Aid a bit. It's cool to see that they're doing well in the F1. I've been doing a lot of work with them recently. I'm just kind of back on board, mate. And look, I'm not going to go and buy an Artura or a 750. Like, I saw that Harry's video and I was like, oh, that is a cool move.
Have you seen, just briefly, just because we've probably got another couple of minutes, have you seen prices of new 992 GT3 RSs?
No.
Well, the cheapest one on the market today, or was last night, 279 now.
What does that make
they're
you think?
240, 250 list. So
really?
Yeah.
240 or 250 list? Really? What are they starting price?
No idea. There must be like 210, 215, something like that.
God, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
Get a starting price. Yeah. Mad, isn't it? 279.
Mate, 192 starting price.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, by the time you load them up and put bloody, Visac, ceramics and all the bits on them, a fully spec one is like 240, 250. 250 cars will probably be the PTS ones. The non ones will be like 240.
I'm going to spec one live.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just fact checking you.
What, right live?
Right now. 992, we're going to go black on the paint. Going to leave the wheels as they are. Can't do anything on the interior.
Well, you want Visac, no?
Yeah, of course. But because that's what that's the price. Was the car you mentioned a Visac car?
Non-Visac car.
Non-Visac car.
No, it was a Visac car, non-ceramic car.
Fine. So, full bucket seats.
Yeah.
Don't care about seating. So you want the Visac. So Visac package without the roll cage or with the roll cage?
No, you've got to have it
with the roll cage.
Yes.
Okay. Club sport package with. Do you want the fire extinguisher, mate?
Yeah, might as well. Because I'm going to be on my roof and it'll catch fire. So
of course,
that's fine. Yeah.
Accept changes. Club sport package. We've already just ticked that. Sorry, what am I on about?
That.
Exterior design. Do you want any carbon fibre on the car, mate? Additional carbon fibre?
On a black car? No, there's no need for that, mate. We want vehicle lift. Have you got lift? Put that in.
Do you want front lid and roof in exterior colour? Yes, you do.
Yes, please.
Don't want that dodgy bonnet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do all of this. Powertrain and vision. Front lift you wanted?
Yes, please.
Ceramics?
Yes, please.
Do you want them in black or yellow?
Black, please.
Okay.
And Could you put a camera and bows in there, please?
Let's see. Do you want any fancy lights? Do you want PDLS Plus?
Yes, please. Yeah, you want them.
PDLS Plus, because all that nighttime driving you're doing.
Yeah.
Privacy glass?
Oh, yeah.
Mate, are you mad? What a waste of money that is.
No, it's not.
It's like 2 minuscule windows you're getting on.
And the back one.
Yeah, why do you need that, mate?
I want it, thank you.
Okay, fine. We're not doing any special colours. Seatbelts we don't care about. Interior design we don't care about. You said you wanted some tech.
Yes, please.
Do you want traffic sign recognition?
Yes, please.
Do you?
Yeah, big couple of £100.
Why are you just trying to add up the price?
No, just little things.
Reversing camera?
Yeah, I want that.
But we're not purposely trying to add up the price, mate.
This is what I do.
Okay. And you said you wanted infotainment. You said you wanted Bose.
Yeah.
And you want the tracker because you're going to need the tracker in this country.
I'm going to need the tracker, yeah.
Right, final price is not revealed. What a total waste of an exercise.
Bloody 2 minutes of my life.
Are you mad? Why don't they give you the price?
Really? They don't even give you the price now?
Mate, that's insane. What is that about?
You can still order them. Well, they're all sold out. But what I mean
if it's on the configurator, you should be like,
yeah.
Why don't they give you the price anymore? That is a joke.
What? So wait a minute.
We just went through that whole process and they don't give you a price at the end.
Did they give you the price for the bits as you were speccing them?
Nope.
Really?
Yep. That's mad.
That is mad because they used to give it. So what they do? Of
course, you'd end up with a price and go,
But even when you were speccing you'd press the button and it would tell you how much it was. It used to tell you how much it was.
It's not because I'm on a mobile, is it?
No.
Let me go save current configuration. Let me email it to my computer just in case. Because, mate, that is... Ignore it. I'm going to send it to you on WhatsApp. Sorry, everyone. Bear with us here because this is I'm discovering something that is shocking me.
And I mean, how is that? That can't be allowed, mate. That shouldn't be allowed.
Well, Ferrari are the same, Bentley the same,
But when you spec a car, normally it has the price. When I spec all my other Ferraris or
not online
and Porsches,
not in the online configurator,
we give you the last price though.
No, I'm almost certain on Ferrari it doesn't give you a price at the end.
Oh, maybe because I do them at the dealers. Then
Yeah. I'm just in the general online configurator.
Okay, fine. Maybe that's why. Then maybe I do it at the dealers and then I get the price.
Wow. Yeah. No price.
Wow.
That's a new thing, isn't it?
Wow.
Bastards.
Anyway.
I want to know how much my fictitious 3OS costs, and I'm just trying to fact check you because I can believe that they're 240. Okay, so is your point being like, oh, they've come off? Oh, yeah, you idiots who bought them at 350, or like, what's your point?
No, that's not my point. I couldn't give a toss who pays over. It's up to them. People must know now that you pay an arm and a leg for the first car to come out. If you wait 6 months, they come off. I mean, I don't need to tell people that. They know that.
At what point do they become attractive to you?
At the moment, I'm quite happy in my car.
Really?
Yeah. I've no desire to change my car at the moment.
I would say
I will want a 3RS though.
Yeah.
Just I'm not yet.
Okay. Because I think you'll drive one and you'll get one.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm literally quite happy in my car at the moment.
Fine.
When I finish with my car, then that will be the next car.
You'll get 3RS.
3RS, yeah.
I've got it on loan last week of August, I think.
Well, don't give it to me because in September I'll buy one.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You just tell me when you want one.
Yeah,
I'll drop it off.
Just to keep that car away from me, mate.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if we can arrange something where we could take the two cars somewhere and do like GT3 versus 3RS. How much quicker? Because that would be a good one, wouldn't it? If I was quicker than you, we could go to Anglesey.
Oh, mate, you wouldn't see where I've gone.
Well, no, but this is the whole point, right? Let's see how good that car is.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of somewhere cheap that we can rent. I'm not renting Silverstone for the day.
It was 50 grand.
But I wonder, because around a track on most days, you'd be quicker than me. But if I could be quicker or closer to you, do you see what I'm saying?
Anglesey wouldn't be a great example for an RS because it's not a high-speed circuit. It's a technical circuit. So from what I've seen following RSs is the real difference is the high-speed stuff in between the two cars.
Let's go to Circuit of the Americas in Texas. No, I'm joking. let me look into that. That could be quite cool, couldn't it? That could be quite
take a GT3 and then an RS.
Yeah, and I'll drive the RS.
Yeah.
You drive the 3.
I'll be faster than you.
I think you might be, but
no, I wouldn't, mate.
No, but
I'm trying to get a reaction.
Just on the wind-up didn't work. Interesting. Anyway, that might not happen. So add it to what's Greg James's thing, the spreadsheet of empty promises.
Is that what they call it?
Things he goes, we'll do that at some point. And
it never happens.
Add it to the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings an end to this week's episode. We're actually double episoding this week. Did you know that?
Not now.
Yeah, we're banking an episode on Thursday.
No,
Got a good,
I knew
exciting
that.
guest coming
I
on.
was going to say, we're not doing another one now.
No.
I'm flapping.
On Thursday. If you want to follow Tony in the meantime, he's at Tony Gravelwood Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seen Through Glass, and we'll be back with you here on the Behind the Glass podcast next week. See you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.